Good morning. It's Saturday, May 1st. It's the weekend, which means it's time for studying. There's nothing to watch. Okay, first quote, Ben Graham. You will be in much more control if you realize how much you are not in control. This helps especially for a passive investor, which I love a passive investor. And a passive investor is one who buys and just holds. He doesn't pay attention to if it goes up or down because he's invested in the company. He's not investing in the stock price. He doesn't care what the stock price says. Not really. That comes secondary. He cares about company fundamentals. He watches earnings reports. If earnings stay good and earnings keep moving in the right direction, he just holds and makes all the rest look like fools as he out-earns them. Here's another Ben Graham quote. These are all Ben Graham quotes, by the way. He's the godfather. He's the master. He's the one Buffett followed. He's the one Lynch followed. He's the one we all should be following. He says, invest only if you'd be comfortable owning a stock, even if you had no way of knowing the daily share price. That's very good advice. That means don't invest in a stock because you think it's going to go up. Invest in a stock because you like the company and just hold. Here's another quote by Ben Graham. A stock is not just a ticker symbol or electric blip. It is an ownership or ownership interest in an actual business with underlying value that does not depend on share price. This is a great quote. I'm reminded of Coca-Cola when they introduced New Coke, and it was a flop, and the share price crashed because everyone was like, oh no, Coke's changing things. And that was when Warren Buffett bought a huge ownership in that company because he knew the company was good, the product was good, Coke is good. Let's face it, even if you're a Pepsi guy, Coke is a good product. And he saw that stock price crash as an opportunity to buy into a great company for cheap. Okay, this is one of my favorite Ben Graham quotes, is because it simplifies things, and I love things simplified because I like to understand things. And a teacher asked Billy if he's got 12 sheep and one jumps over the fence, how many sheep does he have left? Billy Bob, of course, says none. The teacher says, you don't know much about subtraction, do you, Billy? Billy says, no, I don't know anything about subtraction, but I do know a lot about sheep. And what this means is, yeah, if you're in a stock and people start selling, you don't just lose the amount they sold for, those couple wells. You lose a lot more because everybody follows those wells. You know what I mean? And the price falls off the cliff. Okay, this is a great one. If you haven't read Daniel Kahneman, that's spelled wrong, by the way, in the quote. There's no R. You need to read it. It's called Thinking Fast and Slow. And it teaches you that this thing we're doing, this stock trade, is a gamble. And we as humans are adverse to gambling. I could go into a whole video, a 3-hour video on just Daniel Kahneman. But what this quote means is that Kahneman actually did a blind survey in the 70s and asked everybody, what's the likelihood of a tsunami hitting California in the next 30 years? And 90% of the people said that it would happen, that a tsunami would hit California within the next 30 years. That was in the 70s, and a tsunami hasn't hit California. That didn't come true. But what it is these big events, these 1929s, these dot-com bubble crashes, these COVID marches, they put these memories in our minds of these great, devastating events, you know what I mean? And we invest with those things in mind instead of just having the mindset of stocks usually go up, they're going to continue to go up. We always have that big crash in our mind because that's human psychology, that's human nature. Okay, I love this quote because I love Baron Rothschild. He's the one that says when there's blood in the streets, you should be buying, even if the blood's your own. Which, means even if you just got an ass kicking on your stock and it crashes to nothing, you should be buying that same stock. But it says it takes a great amount of shrewdness to acquire a fortune. What I amount that to is, dude, you got to go all in that one stock. If you don't have a fortune already, I don't care if it's MAXD, I don't care if it's HCMC, I don't care if it's ZOM, I don't care if it's Tesla. You need to pick a pony and build that wealth. Diversification is once you're wealthy. That will protect your wealth, but usually one will go up and one will go down on a general basis, and you're gonna protect that wealth. You're gonna be scared, is what that means, and you're not gonna make any money. Yes, even rich people are scared. Okay, that means when you're building that wealth, you need to have a lot of balls. You need to have a lot of shrewdness. You need to pick that one pony. You need to pick that GME at $5. You understand? Once you make that million, then diversify. Okay, I saved this one for last because this is the most important quote. This is the most important quote from The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham. All of these quotes have come from The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham. The Intelligent Investor by Ben Graham is the book that Warren Buffett picked up when he was 16 or 17 years old, and he read The Intelligent Investor before he ever bought a stock. Anyway, this was the most important quote before Warren Buffett ever came around, and this will remain the most important quote in stock trading forever. And it says, "The true investor scarcely is ever forced to sell his shares, and at all other times he is free to disregard the current price quotation," which means the current stock price. "He need pay attention to it and act upon it only to the extent that it suits his book and no more." And back in those days, they called a portfolio a book. It was your book. What this quote means is that the intelligent investor should never sell unless it benefits their wallet. Does that make sense? Now, he says rarely there are times when the intelligent investor is forced to sell. In my opinion here, Benjamin Graham is talking about drastic financial problems. An earnings report that comes out where a company was making $1 billion a year and now they're losing $1 billion a year. Now there's no sense to be in that company, right? Because we're in these companies to make money and to turn profit. Also, a reverse split. Ben Graham would be dumping on a reverse split. You could count on that. That would force that intelligent investor to clear his book of that position. Other than that, trade safe. I hope all of these helped. These are quotes that I grabbed off the internet out of The Intelligent Investor. You can buy The Intelligent Investor brand new for like $5. It's like the Bible. It's all over the place. There's that many of them. It's cheap. I hope you buy it. I hope you read it. But if you don't buy it and you don't read it, then I hope you paid attention to this video.